Welcome to Learn German Day by Day.
In this session, let's have some basic ideas about German verbs. Verben. Verbs, or doing words, express an action, a process, or a state of being.
Infinitiv
Or
Grundform
is the basic form or infinitive form of a verb. If we look up the dictionary, infinitive will always be given.
In general, there are two parts in a German verb. One is
Stamm
it is the main part of the verb, and another one is
Endung
it is the ending of a verb.
Usually, infinitive verbs end with en.
machen arbeiten lernen gehen
But in very few cases, they end with en.
klingeln feiern Konjugation
German verbs have to be conjugated, which means they change their ending, and sometimes also their main part. Conjugation of verbs is mainly according to the number of subjects. Is the subject singular or plural?
Das Kind schläft. Die Kinder schlafen.
Also personal pronouns. First person, second person, or third person. Singular or plural. Play a role in the conjugation.
Ich habe Hunger. Wir haben Hunger. Sie hat Hunger.
And tenses. Present, perfect, or past tenses. Decide the form of verbs.
Meine Mutter kocht die Suppe. Meine Mutter hat die Suppe gekocht. Meine Mutter kochte die Suppe.
In German, there are regular and irregular verbs. For the regular verbs, the main part will not be changed. And the ending is changed regularly according to the subject person.
Ich lerne. Du lernst. Sie lernen. Er, sie, es lernt. Wir lernen. Ihr lernt. Sie lernen. Sie lernen.
As we see in this table, the main part of the verb will not change. And the ending will change regularly according to the subject person. There are about 200 irregular verbs in German. They do not follow the rule. Not only the ending will change, but the main part will change as well. The most used verb,
Sein.
to be, is an irregular verb.
Ich bin. Du bist. Sie sind. Er, sie, es ist. Wir sind. Ihr seid. Sie sind. Sie sind.
Other irregular verbs mainly change the main part in the second person and the third person singular forms. Verbs with subject.
Nominativ.
Some verbs can stand without an object.
Das Haus brennt. Das Kind weint. Der Vater schläft. Ich lerne.
Some verbs are transitive. It means that the verb requires a direct object to receive the action.
Akkusativ.
For example,
Kaufen.
to buy,
Ich kaufe.
I buy. Cannot stand alone. What do I buy? It should have a direct object.
Ich kaufe einen Tisch. Er liebt sie. Die Frau macht eine Pizza.
And some verbs must be used with an indirect object.
Dativ. Der Lehrer antwortet mir. Der Mann glaubt ihm. Der Junge hilft dem Mädchen.
In German, subject, direct object, indirect object, time, or place can change their position in a sentence. However, in general, verb-related words are in the second position. It can be verb to be, main verbs, or modal verbs. For example, we can say,
Ich kaufe einen Tisch.
but we can also say,
Einen Tisch kaufe ich.
we can change the position of the subject and direct object without changing the meaning of the sentences. Both sentences mean, I buy a table. But the verb is always in the second position. Another example. We can say,
Der Junge hilft dem Mädchen.
we can also say,
Dem Mädchen hilft der Junge.
we can change the position of the subject and the indirect object without changing the meaning of the sentence. And the verb is always in the second position.
Modalverben.
We have mainly 6 modal verbs in German.
Dürfen, können, mögen, müssen, sollen, wollen.
We generally use modal verbs with the infinitive of the full verb. If there is a modal verb, the modal verb will be conjugated according to the subject person and tenses. The main verb remains with the basic form. Modal verbs express ability, necessity, obligation, permission, or possibility. The meaning of the sentence changes depending on which modal verb we use. Modal verbs modify the meaning of the verb. For example,
Ich esse ein Eis.
I eat ice cream.
Ich möchte ein Eis essen.
I would like to eat ice cream. The meaning is different. If there is a modal verb, the modal verb will be put in the second position. And the main verb will be put at the end of a sentence.
Trennbare Verben.
The verbs with certain prefixes are separable. If we add prefixes to verbs, the meaning will be changed slightly, or totally different. For example,
Fahren. Abfahren. Ich fahre nach Berlin. Ich fahre um 3 Uhr ab. Zusammengesetzte Verben.
German verb can be built with other elements. With adjectives.
Totschlagen. Festhalten.
With nouns.
Autofahren. Skilaufen.
And with other verbs.
Spazieren gehen. Sitzen bleiben.
And also, we will change the word order of the compound verb.
Festhalten. Wir halten das Kind fest. Autofahren. Mein Vater fährt Auto.
For
Today,
more details, we have some
we will
basic
discuss
ideas of
all
German
these
at a
verbs.
later stage. For more details, we will discuss all these at a later stage.
Subscribe to my channel, like the video, and activate the bell so you don't miss a new video. Do you have a question? Write to me with a comment.